You say you want peace, a slower life, a quiet mind, a moment to breathe. But the second it arrives, something inside you flinches. You reach for your phone. You think of what needs fixing. You hear the silence and call it loneliness. But what if the problem isn't the stillness itself? What if it's what the stillness used to mean? Because for some people, stillness isn't peace, it's exile, and silence doesn't feel neutral. It feels like punishment. Not because they're dramatic or overly sensitive, but because their body learned something early. When things got quiet, someone disappeared. Let's go back to when silence wasn't calm. It was a warning. You were a kid, maybe 5, maybe 9, and something changed. A face went cold. A parent walked out of the room without a word, and suddenly, the air felt heavier. You didn't know what you did. You just knew something was wrong and no one would say it. To the door that closed too quietly, to the dinner table where no one looked up, to the car rides where the tension filled every inch but no one said a word. This kind of silence isn't just absence, it's control. For a child, being ignored is terrifying because your whole world depends on being seen. But when silence is used as discipline, that safety disappears without explanation. You're left in limbo, waiting for the warmth to return, trying to decode what you did wrong. And here's what makes it stick. No one explains it. No one says, I'm giving you space because I'm upset, but I'll come back. So the child doesn't just learn that silence equals trouble, they feel it in their skin. That stillness, that's when the love went missing. It doesn't stop at home. But home wasn't the only teacher. School sent the same message, just dressed it in rules. Sit in silence and think about what you've done. Turn your chair around. No talking for the rest of class. Or worse, being left out of the group. A freeze out with a smile. This wasn't reflection, it was control. Silence wasn't about peace, it was about power. You're taught that connection is conditional, that comfort is earned, that if you upset the system and the teacher, the parent, the group, you'll be erased for a while, not hit, not screamed at, just gone. And while that may look less harmful from the outside, it shapes a child's internal map just as deeply. Stillness becomes suspense, silence becomes shame, and the body learns, if things are calm, you're probably not safe. If you've made it this far, it means you're the kind of person who thinks deeply about patterns, not just symptoms. So if this resonates, hit the like button. And if you want more videos like this, you know what to do. Subscribe, and you won't miss what's next. You grow up, you stop noticing the pattern, but your body doesn't. It flinches in quiet rooms. It panics when no message comes through. It tightens when someone says, I just need space. And you tell yourself you're overreacting, that you're needy, that you just can't sit still. But that's not quite true. Stillness feels dangerous because your system linked it to rejection. It's like a reflex now. Still moment, check for abandonment, silence, scan for danger. This isn't a mindset issue, it's a memory made of sensation. And it doesn't speak in words, it speaks in urgency. So you stay moving, you stay talking, working, fixing, filling the room, the schedule, the inbox, the space, not because you love the chaos, but because it keeps the silence from creeping in. You might even call yourself productive. But what if the drive is less about ambition and more about avoidance? You've been training your whole life not to be still, because stillness used to mean emotional exile, so motion feels like presence, like proof you still exist to someone. And when it does get quiet, you narrate your thoughts out loud. You replay conversations. You wonder if you upset someone. You wonder if they're pulling away. You're not weak. You're tracking patterns your body was trained to fear, in grown-up language but with childhood instincts. Now bring this into relationships. Someone says, I'm fine, just need space, but your brain hears, they're gone. I messed up. I'm being punished and I don't know why. So you chase. You over-explain. You apologize for things that haven't been named. Not because you don't trust them, but because silence once meant loss. And loss once meant your fault. It doesn't stop there. You may also avoid peaceful relationships because they feel flat, uncertain, like something's about to break and no one's saying it yet. So you sabotage calm, you poke at the quiet, you stir up noise. Not because you want drama, but because chaos at least means connection. Better to fight than to feel forgotten. Here's the hard part. Stillness won't feel safe just because you want it to. It becomes safe when you relearn what silence can mean. Like sitting with someone and saying nothing and they don't leave. Or letting a moment pass without explaining yourself and it's not taken as rejection. Or resting without guilt, without productivity, and realizing nothing falls apart. It starts small, one breath where you don't reach for distraction. One evening where the quiet isn't punishment, instead it's rest. One moment where your body braces for abandonment but nothing bad happens. You're not healing by force. You're reteaching your nervous system what peace actually looks like and showing it that this time, silence isn't a threat. This time no one disappears. Have you ever noticed yourself reacting to silence in a way that surprised you? Share one moment where stillness felt heavy or healing. Let's see how many of us learned to fear what was supposed to be safe. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. It helps more people find this kind of content. And if you want to go deeper with us, subscribe. And, just so we're clear, this video isn't therapy or medical advice, it's a perspective, a lens. And sometimes that's all it takes to start seeing yourself differently. But if something here opened a door you weren't ready for, don't walk through it alone. Reach out, reflect, or just write something below.